Hello there, people, and welcome to yet another edition of this Doom PWAD playthrough. Um, Something to talk about is the fact of the matter that this is going to be a one-off, I guess you could say. Um, I'm not streaming because of the reason that I don't feel like doing a massive amount of PWADs today, like I did last time. Mainly because, one, my headphones are not exactly charged up to a very efficient amount. If I did a very lengthy one, I know it would die. And two, I just do not feel in the mood for it today. It just doesn't feel like the right atmosphere for a lengthy amount. However, I do feel like at least playing one of them and have definitely the battery life for at least one WAD. So, with all that in mind, I'm going to try and do at least this one WAD. Um, and then process and upload it, and it'll basically be a one-off for those of you that are interested in all these various WADs and whatnot. At this point, you guys mostly check these out on YouTube anyway, and that's kind of where you would see the content, so it kind of works out anyway. So, well then, mind, let's actually see what we got into today for this one little side-off. We're doing Deathmatch Spiral, also known as D Spiral. And it's made by Kenneth S. Forte. And it's going to be a different kind of deathmatch level, based upon the idea conjured up by myself and Justin Powell. You only get to select one weapon per life, as does your opponent. The playing field is fairly simple. The better bonuses are harder to get, and there are some nice hiding spots, and a place of suicide if your situation seems hopeless. There are also a few pesky monsters to live it up, and some more pesky monsters guarding the bonuses. Hint, take a chainsaw one of your times out. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't figure out yet, this is for deathmatch only. Yeah, even though I assume it's like Quake in the regard that if you played in deathmatch, the monsters wouldn't exactly exist. So yeah, we're going to check it out, but it's going to be very heavily unbalanced. Yeah, it's not going to be that intended for a single player mission. Kind of like the last one. The last one was just a deathmatch based mission. So yeah, this is pretty much yet another one to stick with that general idea of deathmatchy levels. Not really intended for single player, but are just kind of something we blast through. There's some areas where the ID engine hits its limits in terms of how many transparent side depths can be calculated in a row. This may cause tiny spots of bleeding or hollow mirrors, but does not indicate anything major or unassigned side depths. Simply move a little in a direction and we'll probably stop. So yeah, it's just basically limitation the engine is saying. And other than that, we don't really have anything. Okay, so let's actually check out this WAD. Let's load it up. Why does the music sound soft? Oh yeah, that's because it is. Duh. I wanted to make sure that the music is there and whatnot, so I'm going to turn it pretty soft. If it's the same, we're just going to change it back. Actually, it's D2 on one. And it's the exact same as always. So, of course. Okay, before I continue, I should make sure I'm being seen. And everything looks fine. Alright. So. Yeah, we have a button here. Oh, that completes the level. Yeah! Go me! Part time of 7 seconds! I'm a master of that level! Okay, let's do this again. And this time, not push that button, but that's how you complete the level. Well, I guess you can really see this was definitely made for deathmatch. Okay, so I see you can select like different weapons. I'm guessing you select signs. And if you open up the middle area, it'll open up that one. The one thing is that, this definitely could be interesting. Which gun do we choose? Because a rocket launcher is only going to give us like 2 rockets. Plasma gun is going to give us a little bit, but it depends on what we're facing. BFG would be a waste, because after that one blast, we'd be dead. Chainsaw could be useful, and definitely isn't relying on ammo. And shotgun has like 8 shots. Let's try chain gun. He said try the chain gun, so let's try it. Can't get back. In fact, if anything, let's actually see if we look at like all these. That's a rocket launcher, that's the chain gun, and these all look the same. You know, pretty obvious. Very simplistic design, but it works. Okay, let's open this one, get the chainsaw. And now our reward is death. No way back. It's time to kill things. Like this guy. I'll call him Frank. And he's now a corpse. Okay. Another guy dead. We're doing great, aren't we? Another one! Well, there we are. 3 dead. 3 dead in the first few seconds of gameplay. Do I want to check out these upper areas yet? That looks intriguing. 4. 5. We're just chainsawing everything that we see. It said try with the chainsaw, so there we are. Look at that. And that's pretty much what we're doing. Chainsaw! If you want a really complex or detailed level, this isn't for it. But if you want some simple exploration in a random deathmatch level, well, here's your level. Random deathmatch level. I don't know how exactly what we can even talk about on this one because, yeah, it's not made to be for single player, and yet we're playing it like single player. Aren't we good? Oh, look at all the goodies up there. Let's keep killing things to get up there. I am glad we chose the chainsaw. There's no ammo or anything lying around the map, so yeah, it'd be pretty punishing. Those that didn't have a chainsaw. Oh, thank you very much! Now that we have all that, we still have 2 enemies lying around. Please don't tell me it's like a Baron of Hell or something up here. Let me save, because I bet there's a Baron of Hell. I just get the feeling. No, you're an imp. Well, you're easy flesh. Okay, what's this do? Ah, this brings me to the opposite side where I can kill this guy. So yeah, it's like, here, here. And that's it. That's basically that. It just basically goes from one side of the level to the other. Which makes sense for a deathmatch level. You want to interconnect your areas. And that looks like an area filled with honeycomb. But yeah, that's the entirety of this level. You can't go back at all. Because after all, we're kind of trapped in here. We killed everything in the level, got all the items, but we can't return to the beginning switch. And like I said, at the end of the day, the biggest reason for all of this is because, well, it's a deathmatch level. But it was a level, it was in the historical list or whatnot. We had to play it, therefore. At least see what it was. And so we've seen it. We made it. We can continue forward or dive in this pool of lava. Whee! Haha, I cheated. And therefore I didn't get hurt. What does this teach you in life, kids? This teaches you to abuse every cheat possible in order to get ahead in life. And it also teaches you that deathmatch levels cannot be rated at all, so you should make more deathmatch levels because you can avoid criticism. Because whenever anyone says anything about how badly designed your level was, and the fact that it was totally imbalanced with monsters, you could say, well, it was only intended for deathmatch. But yeah, from a deathmatch perspective, it's a pretty interesting idea to really have like that, you know, one weapon that you can choose. So I don't get why anyone would choose like anything besides the BFG or something then. Because you only get so many shots per gun, so you're probably only going to get like a few shots in or so. Probably one of the best would actually probably be like the rocket launcher, I'd say. if you could get both shots in, that'd be 2 shots. But like I said, probably the BFG would probably be one of the best guns to use in this case, sadly, because then you hope for like them to use like a plasma gun or something. Actually, when they die, wouldn't they give you their guns? So basically, every time you kill them or so, you get one more gun to use to kill them. That's actually an interesting idea. Is the fact of the matter that you'd be constantly getting one more piece of ammo to kill them once more. Um, so yeah, rather weird, but very very interesting, and could allow for some very interesting scenarios. And then you have that really weird, powerful area in the middle of the map. But okay, and we have some interconnected sides that don't really have much of anything. I'm not exactly sure how it'd work in terms of balancing, but from terms of it being a very simplistic deathmatch level in 1994, I guess it works. Like I said, honestly, most of these levels I'm looking at from the perspective of single player, and from a single player perspective, it really was nothing. But from a deathmatch perspective, it could work a bit, I guess. The only problem is the fact of the matter that it's 2016, and I doubt anybody would want to play this in deathmatch. Yeah, good luck trying to get anybody to play this level with you if you don't have like a tight knit circle of friends or whatnot. Yeah, I kind of pity you otherwise. But, with all that in mind, the only thing really to do is play in single player, and like I said, single player wise, this level isn't really that good. So, in every regard, this is kind of pretty much one of those forgettable, skippable levels. But it was a level in the cycle level to check out, and we checked it out, we did it, we said it, we saw it, we made it pass. Anyway, thank you very much all for watching. It's very interesting to have this one off, but like I said, one level works for the time being. So, like I said, thank you very much all for watching, and I shall see you all next time.